just usually lost the turnover battle, and Brendan's thrown picks in that regard. Other than that, he's been really clean and good. Defensively, you have to find a way to get off the field on third down. You have to stop the run. In particular, LJ Martin's one of the best rushers in the country, maybe the best in the Big 12. So defensively, start to stop the run, trying to create some negatives, put that on the freshman's shoulders, throwing the football, see if he won't make some mistakes here in the nip at night. And then Brendan's got to keep doing what he's doing this year, just take care of the football.
Has Cincinnati kind of shocked you this season with the results that they've had, the success under Scott Satterfield in year 3? Just what's been your thoughts of the program growing over the last few years?
Not surprised. This is a good program. I think some people questioning, when you leave to take another job, always it was a better job. I look at, again, some of the skill players they've got here, what they've been able to develop. They've done well. The fact they're in the Big 12 hunt, they're not out of it. They win tomorrow. They had some things to work their way, but they went out. They still have a shot at playing for the Big 12 championship. So I think in year 3 under Scott Satterfield, that's all you can ask for is continue to keep trying to play for championships, try to find a way in the playoff.
What are your thoughts on where BYU's ranked? Are they underrated? Are they right just where they should be? Or what are your thoughts on their playoff ranking?
I think they're about where they should be. I don't know that they have a really great quality win. Outside of the Big Ten SEC, it feels like a lot of other conferences are trying to earn the equity with the college football playoff committee, and it always helps when you've got more teams that have winning records and or at least ranked too. And I think you look at how many teams are ranked in the SEC, they get the benefit of the doubt. So this to me would be another big win for them if they could pull one off here on the road at night versus a good team with a winning record in the Big 12. But again, the Big 12's been crazy. We've all watched the past couple of years. Last 5 years, they've had 5 different conference champions. So it looks like it might be heading in that direction this year too. So they got the work cut out for them.
Is the Big 12 strong enough to get 2 bids this year, you think?
I think so. I think if you're looking at the top 2 teams as it currently stands with Texas Tech and BYU, they would be in my opinion. It'll be interesting to see how Utah's viewed. Especially considering BYU owns the head-to-head if it ever comes between those two, and obviously the committee thinks a lot of what Utah has looked like, since their loss to Texas Tech and some of the others they had. So, it looks like the committee's looking upon the Big 12 somewhat favorably with 5 teams ranked this week, but there's still a lot of games left to be played.
Has Coach Meyer been telling you about his glory days here as a DB at Cincinnati?
We were not talking about that, but we were talking about when he met his wife Shelly here. What year that was, and so we talked a little bit about that because he went here, Shelly, his wife, went here, his son Nate went here, so there's a lot of ties here for the Meyer family.
First time on campus in a little bit here for Cincinnati with the Big Noon Kickoff. Have you been able to tour the new $134 million?
I just toured the new facility. It is phenomenal. It's one of the best that I've seen in the country. They should be really excited about it. The players should feel very fortunate. And that can be one of those things that makes a huge difference too, just in recruiting, and especially as a player, you spend so much time there, and that's really the place where you're going to get developed. As a player, both off the field, putting on the strength and developing the speed you need, but also preparing to be a pro and how you go approach the game, watching film and everything else. It's a huge thing for this program.
You brought up LJ Martin. What has really stood out to him or to you about him this season?
He's just can do it all. He's good catching the football out of the backfield. He's got great patience and vision to kind of see the backside cut. He's steady. He's a very reliable, steady player for them. So I think that's one of the things that you always appreciate about a running back is always seems to be falling forward, always seems to kind of make the right play. So he's just been solid all the way around.
Big 12 is a really quarterback-heavy league. Where do you think Bear Bachmeier falls within that hierarchy of quarterbacks?
I've been so impressed with him. He's a true freshman. I don't think people quite understand. He didn't early enroll. He didn't redshirt. He literally got there, won out a quarterback battle, and is coming in now as a true freshman. So he's only continually gotten better, in my opinion, watching him. He has a knack for making plays in the clutch in the fourth quarter. He's tough to bring down. He's continually gotten better throwing the football, I think, with his accuracy. So he's extremely impressive. These kids, if you think about it, for someone like him, he entered into high school where all he knew was an era that he was going to enter into college one day and get paid for NIL. And I think all these kids are so mature, so prepared for that moment. And it's really led to a lot of these freshmen who've come in who've done a tremendous job really leading programs.
What's an area or matchup in this game that you think is kind of underrated that's going to maybe help define this outcome?
I don't know if it's underrated, but Cincinnati's got to stop the run. It starts and ends there for me. If they can't stop LJ Martin, they can't, get BYU in third and long. It could end up being 3 games in a row that they end up losing. So again, I'm sure it's been talked about, but I think that the game starts and ends there.
Speaking of stopping the run for BYU, a guy on Cincinnati's defensive line, Dante Corleone. What stands out about you on tape, his journey to where he is now?
Yeah,
What's exciting about Dante?
He's a great story, but I just think his overall, watching him, his effort, I think you look at his quicks too off the ball. I mean, he's a talented player. We talked to him, we were here a year or two ago when they were playing Oklahoma, and we talked a little bit about his story then. So just a neat kid, one of those great stories in college football.